Cliff Barron from Remax here. My weekly update for the Milton area and Georgetown Glen Williams for August 23rd to the 29th, 2020. So before I get there, I got something to talk about. It's to do with revisits at a property. When you sell your house, an offer comes in, and in Schedule A of the offer, there's a list of conditions: conditional on finance, conditional on inspection, and usually there's in a hot market, sometimes you don't see those, but there's always a condition in. Most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, there's a condition that says the buyer has the right to revisit their property 1, 2, or 3 further times prior to completion with 24 hours notice given to the seller at mutually agreeable times. So basically what that is the buyers have bought the house, they're really excited, they bought a new house, they're happy to move into their new house, they want to visit it before closing. I usually write in 2 times, and I usually say to my clients, do one in the next week or 2 for measuring, because they want to make a few changes here and there, new drapes, new shutters or floors or something like that. And then I always say, and then another one closer to closing, because you want one within a day or 2 of closing to make sure the house is in the same condition as when you put your offer in, and nothing's been changed. Interesting story, I did a deal not long ago, I won't mention names or anything like that, on an agent's house. I brought a buyer to a real estate agent's house. We did the deal, everything worked out well, and then we did our final revisit just before closing, and he'd removed all the bathroom mirrors, taken them all. Meanwhile, they were all fixed. They were all fixtures fixed to the wall. So, which is a big no-no. You don't do that. But that shows that's the reason for your revisits. What we did is we, kind of threatened to withhold funds from the lawyer at closing. He would have done a holdback, and so instead of dealing with a holdback, the agent returned the mirrors and put them back. So everything was good. But that's a big no-no. You don't do stuff like that. Just like switching out appliances, you don't do that. It's as simple as that. So anyways, when it comes to that revisit, from the seller's point of view, you've sold your home, you're happy, you've checked out mentally, you're moving on to your next place, and then all of a sudden there's a really inconvenient notice of the buyers want to come and do a revisit on Tuesday, and you're like, oh, Tuesday, come on, I got stuff to do. So it's within your rights to say no, but just remember, there's both sides to the purchase. There's the buyers and there's the sellers. Just remember this, you don't have to clean up, you don't have to leave the house, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is unlock the door, say hello, and then walk away and let them do their hour. It's an hour long, that's all it is. I've got one now where it's like it was back and forth and back and forth and back and forth for days trying to arrange just a revisit, and it was so difficult because the seller is being so incredibly difficult. But we finally worked it out, and everything is good. So that's the revisit. Just remember, you don't have to clean up. From the seller's point of view, you don't have to clean up, you don't have to leave, you don't have to disrupt your life at all. You can even, if you're not there, just give them the lockbox, let them come in through the lockbox, and don't worry about the condition of the house. It's not a condition of the sale, so they can't come in and say the house was dirty. We don't want to go through with the sale. You can't do that. The conditions are already met. So it's just merely for a courtesy to the buyers. Basically, that's what it is, and show that courtesy. They just spent $1 million on your house. Like, imagine going to a Rolls Royce dealership and buying a Rolls Royce for $500,000 and then saying, can I use the bathroom? And they say, no, you can't. You'd be like, what the heck? So anyways, that's putting it in perspective, I guess. So the recent sales for Milton, Georgetown, and Glen Williams, August 23rd to the 29th. In 2019, we had 46 sales. In 2020, 49 in Milton. It slowed a bit because last week we had 53. So we come down a little bit. And the sales the numbers are still good though. 20 sales of townhouses, 4 semis, and 25 detached. The townhouses sold on average for $737 and in 8 days, pretty quick. And then 4 semis on average 809, 9 days on the market, and the detached, 25 of those sales at $1,064,000. So we're averaging well over $1 million now. 12 days on the market, so they're moving fast. As long as you're priced right, you're going to sell. And then condos, the condos actually picked up a little bit. Compared to last week, we did 7 sales this week compared to the previous week, which was on par with last year. I see it kind of slowing a little bit because I think it's because of anticipation of school getting back in. So people are kind of getting their last summer hurrah, and like going away for the weekend or going to their cottage or something, and getting a lot of things in before school starts. And then we got Georgetown and Glen Williams, same thing. It slowed a little bit. Let's see. In 2019, we had 18 sales. In 2020, 13 sales. So that's down by, you know, a good 40%, but that doesn't, take that with a grain of salt. That doesn't really matter. Let's see, 2 sales of townhouses at 747 on average, 3 days on the market. 1 semi sold for 820 and 2 days on the market. And there was 10 sales of detached. There was actually 11 registered, but one of them was a duplicate. And the average was 1.193. 6 days on the market on average, so things are moving still. There's been some big sales in Glen Williams again. That kind of skews the numbers up a little bit. I've got a nice one coming up in Glen Williams too, just to let you know. So, anyways, that's it for sales in Milton, Georgetown, Glen Williams. Things are looking good. So, any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. Send me a DM, PM, any questions. Take care.